So, an important thing to touch on today: how you see yourself, your self perception, your self image, your self concept versus how others actually see you, or their meta perception, or their concept of you. And is there a good match there, or is there a mismatch? Because if there is a mismatch, there may be a problem. I don't know. You will decide for yourself. But so a couple of days ago, I went to visit a friend. He's one of my best friends ever. And so my friend is a single guy and he stays at home a lot. He works from home and he stays at home a lot. But he shared something with me that was very striking. He said that he thinks of himself, especially in social situations, as somebody that people will absolutely avoid. He used other words, but I'm not going to get into all the details. But that's how he thinks of himself. And he avoids new social situations because he thinks that's his projection to the world and to the other people around. And my perception of him is exactly the opposite. And now I may be a little bit biased because I'm his friend, but I've known him for a very long time, 11 years now, and I know how beautiful a person he is. And his perception of him is not that way, especially of how other new people see him and how they perceive him when they see him for the very first time. And so that made me think a lot over the last day and a half or so. And it is important. For example, for myself, if you watched any of my other videos, especially the ones where I do exercise and all that, I am kind of in a good physical shape, right? And see, notice my language here. Kind of in a good physical shape. I know that in social settings, other people perceive me at least one point above to where I perceive myself as far as my physical appearance. But I also know that sometimes in social settings, when I'm very absorbed, I have a little bit of a mean look like that. And some people who don't know me perceive me as very unapproachable, especially in that moment. Other times, when I'm very aware of the situation, I am enjoying everything and I'm fully in the moment, I am just like that. And then I'm very approachable. But see, I pretty much think that I'm always approachable, but sometimes when I get really absorbed, I am not. And I know that because I've gotten feedback from people. So here's the thing: how you see yourself, your self perception, your self image. Is this potentially hurting you or is it not? For example, in the case of my friend, and I think there are a lot of people who are like that, a lot of people, especially those who are more shy people, it may be hurting you because you may be seeing yourself a lot more unfavorably than others see you. In fact, others may see you totally favorably, but your self perception of you is unfavorable, and your meta perception of you, in other words, what you think other people see in you, is also very unfavorable. And so you tend to be very shy, very closed off, and basically repel people in social situations because you just don't look approachable, or you just totally avoid social situations and meeting new people because you have that low self perception, your perception of you. And that is potentially hurting you because, I mean, let's face it, we're social animals and we do not survive alone. We do not thrive alone. We may survive alone today in this day and age, but we definitely don't thrive alone. And so if your perception of you is low and you think that other people's perception of you is also low, and that's why you avoid meeting new people, then maybe you ought to find out if that is true instead of assuming that other people's perception of you is very low or is weird or is kind of strange and they see you in a negative way. And the way to find out is this. Basically, ask people for their honest opinion of how they perceive you. Just simple as that. And these people could be anywhere on the spectrum, from family members who have known you for your entire life, or their entire life if they're younger than you, to acquaintances, work colleagues, to all the way to somebody who you just met and had a conversation. And upon leaving, you will ask him this question. By the way, how do you perceive me? What could you describe how I show up? But here's the important part. Tell them that you will not judge them. There is no judgment that's going to come from your side, no matter what they tell you. And you will really appreciate if they're absolutely honest with you, because that's the only way they can help you. So you will relieve them from the worry of being judged, because most people don't like being judged, because they don't like being not approved of. And so they don't, even if they judge, they don't want to make that apparent. So anyway, ask all the way from family members all the way down to people you just met and had a conversation, so they have a first impression of you, and find out if their perception of you matches your perception of you. Is it higher? Is it lower? In most cases, it'll turn out to be higher. In other words, you think of yourself lower, unless if you're a narcissist, then that's a totally different case. But if you're a shy person, your perception of you and what other people think of you and see you, their perception of you, is probably lower, and that's what you'll find out. And then you'll be able to correct the servo mechanism, the guidance system, if you want to. Only if you want to. It's your choice. So that's my message for today. As always, love you very much, Force, and I'll see you next time. Bye.